Can we start the session? Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen. Can you all see my screen? No one is hearing my voice, or how it is like? Huh? Okay, let me go ahead with my class itself. Okay. So yesterday we have actually seen, how to actually develop a Maven multi-module project, but that is not required going forward because that is just knowledge that I just wanted to share with everyone. Okay. So right now we do have a booking service and we do have a payment service. Okay. So first of all, I just wanted to write a Docker file for this. So if you just see and go to our GitHub account, there is a user registration service for which we do have already the Docker file. So I just wanted to copy this, not this one. There is a user registration system. Let me go inside this. And repositories. And here there is a Docker file. You can just copy that one and create a Docker file inside the booking service. Docker file as small letter. No, that is not required, Giridhar Reddy. That is just for your knowledge, Giridhar. Okay. There's a Maven multi-module project also. You can just use it for your purpose. That is just a knowledge that I just wanted to share. Yeah. But going forward, it will be very much typical because there are so many things which needs to be followed. I think for this particular things, it is not at all required. Okay. Yeah. And let me go and paste the same code inside this and let me build this project, booking service as well as the payment service. So here, let me build this two things together. So let me open this inside Explorer. So you also can do the same thing. Just open this one inside the terminal. So you can just open the folder. Sorry. And just open the git bash from here and minimize this. Open this one. So here you can just do cd space booking service and you can just build the booking service, Maven clean install. And wanted to go to this payment service and I just wanted to remove this test folder. This is not at all required for us. And clear. Go to the payment service and build this one as well. Maven clean install. Okay, this is also done. And now if you just go to this target, so we do have something called the booking service hyphen 1.0 snapshot.jar. And here I just wanted to give some booking service.jar. This is a Docker container jar name, and this is a local machine. That means local folder booking service snapping, because this is actually generated based upon this version and the artifact ID. Okay. So if you just wanted to give the same, you can also give the same like this over here. It will still work. Okay. But I just wanted to give a different name. That's it. Okay. So that's the total idea. Copy paste this and paste this over here, and the job is done. Okay. So now we have actually created the Docker file for the booking service. I just wanted to go to the payment service, and I will create a Docker file over here. So D capital letter and F small letter, and paste it over here. So instead of booking service, there will be a payment service jar. That's it in the target folder itself. And here I just wanted to give this as payment service.jar. And the same jar, I need to give it over here so that the Docker container will run this jar using this java-jar payment service jar. Okay. So this is how it is actually going to run. And you know about this. So this is basically to download the JDK 17 image from the Docker Hub to the Docker container, so that this is a Java application which can be run inside the Docker container using this software. That's it. Very simple. Okay. And now what I just wanted to do, I just wanted to, okay, let me open this and see. Okay. So now everything is done. Now we'll just go inside our root folder. This is a root folder. This is not a root prom project. Okay, so this is a root folder. So Docker file, sorry, Docker compose. This is the format you need to give, docker-compose.yaml file, and that's it. And here you need to basically give the version as 3.8. And if you see the existing Docker desktop, so here, if you see that the settings here, there is a Docker engine. So for Docker engine, if your Docker engine is greater than 19 version, here the 24 version is already listed. If the Docker version is greater than 24, you need to use the Docker Compose file format version as 3.8. Okay, so that's the total idea. And I think everyone has to use 3.8 because this is the latest Docker Compose file format that you can use it. Okay, so here I can here just use services, and inside the services, I just wanted to create two databases. One is for booking service and another one is for a payment service. Okay, first we need to create databases because booking service, payment service itself, they are dependent on databases to connect. Okay, so here I just wanted to create a bookings DB, and that's it. So here what we can simply do, we can just give the image. There is an image called MySQL. So if you just go inside this Docker, MySQL image, and just go to this and click on this. So this is a Docker image that is already there. Okay, so we are actually using this one. So we can pull this MySQL image, but since we are working on the Docker Compose, it will directly Docker pull MySQL image from the Docker Hub. That's it, very simple. Okay, and I just wanted to give the container name as BookingsDB. This is a container name. So I'll tell you, I will also show you how this um, container names will look like inside the containers. So here, this is something called a test command. Why this health check is really needed? Because If you ask me truly, previously we have actually seen this. So this is basically to check whether the MySQL is up and running or not. This is a command for that, -h. The host name is, this is a host name. So MySQL, sorry, it's a bookings database. That's simple. Okay. And once this is done, we do have another set of attributes, right? So 10 seconds. Timeout is 5 seconds. That means when once I trigger this command, within 5 seconds, the response has to come. Otherwise, it will actually retry it for 5 different times. And the start period is 10 seconds. So what this actually means, so when this bookings database is actually getting created, so what it will basically do, just after it start, it will just wait for 10 seconds and it will just trigger this command. Okay. So for every 10 seconds, it has to trigger this command unless it is not connecting to the database. It has to be up. So here 10 seconds is the interval. For every 10 seconds, it is going to hit this command. That means if this command is not successful, then probably it is just going to retry it for 5 different times. So whenever it hits this command, it has to get the response within 5 seconds. Otherwise, it will retry it for multiple times. So this is something called a retry. Okay, this is just for the start period. Even if it is present or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, that's it. And now what we need to do, we need to give expose the ports information. So here I need to expose 3307 and the 3306 is the initial port of the MySQL. So here I just have to give the environment information. So here in the environment information, I will just use MySQL root password bookings. Okay. And then MySQL underscore database. And here the database password. This is the database name, right? So this is bookings. That's it. So I just wanted to give the password as bookings and the database as bookings. That's it. No, no, Akash. You just have to join very early. Okay. Anyhow, I just wanted to repeat everything, right? So we are just working on Docker Compose file, Akash. Okay. We have actually written the Docker files for each and every service. And then we are actually developing the Docker. Anyhow, I will say this again and again. Okay. And I just wanted to copy the same thing. And I just wanted to create the payment service database also. Okay. So payments DB. Don't worry, I will tell you each and everything. So here the MySQL and this is the payments data, payments DB. And here I just wanted to use payments DB. And so here I cannot expose on 3307 because I need to expose this on 3308 because 3307 is already taken by our machine and 3308 is the available one. So you can actually take it. Okay. And then probably we have to change the database name to this. So previously you have seen that I have actually used something called MySQL root password and MySQL username, MySQL user and MySQL password, right? But this is not required because this is just to create another user. But we can actually proceed with the root account with the root password itself. Okay. Yeah. And now I just have to define my booking service, booking-service. This is a booking service name. So here what we can simply do, I just wanted to give the image name as booking-service. And the container name is also and the container name as booking-service only. Okay. So you can use the service name, image name, and the container name also the same. It doesn't matter. Okay. And the next thing is build So here we need to mention the location of the Docker file. So here, where this Docker file is present, Docker Compose file is present. So the Docker Compose YAML file is present inside the root folder, right? So here we cannot mention dot as a current directory where Docker file itself is not there. So this is a booking service, right? So what I just wanted to mention. So inside the booking service, there is a Docker file. So I need to just mention the booking service folder. So / booking service. That's it. So inside this root folder, find the Docker file. That's very simple. And here, what we need to do, it has to depend on bookings database and the service is healthy. That's it. Okay. And followed by, we need to expose the ports. Sorry. So here I can just expose that on 9090:9090 because in the server.port, we have actually mentioned booking service has to start on 9090 and payment service has to run on 9091. Okay. And that's the only information that I do have. And here I do have to define the payment service also. So here I just wanted to define the payment hyphen service. And here I just wanted to rename this to payment hyphen service and this to payment hyphen service. And here I need to mention payment hyphen service depends on service healthy. And this is 9091:9091 because that is the port on which the payment service is just going to start. Okay. And I just wanted to do two changes. And if I just go over here in the source application.yaml file, here I just have to mention the database name. So the database name itself is a service name. So we can actually take this bookings DB and we can actually give this. And what is the root password that we have given? This is the one. This is the root password. Okay. So I can just go and simply use that password instead of using my local database password. Okay. So, and then we have to open the payment service source my resources file also. And here I just have to mention this as payments database. And I will just go to this. And here the password is payments. You can just give whatever the password that you want. Okay. But for simple identification, I'm just giving like this. Okay, that's all. I don't have to do anything because since Docker Compose services can talk to each other directly with the service name because they are a part of the common network. Why we are using Docker Compose? Because Docker Compose makes it simple to make the service communication between each other directly by the service name. So that's the reason if you see here, I just wanted to use 3306 only. But where we use 3307 and 3306, sorry, 3307 and 3308, that is just to see how the records are getting stored inside the Docker container database. Okay, we'll just see that. Okay, and now I just wanted to open this terminal and I just wanted to clear this again. And I just wanted to build this again, booking service or booking service. And just I'm just in payment service, right? I will just do a Maven clean install because in the generated jar, the source main resources changes will not be there. I have to rebuild it again. So do a Maven clean install and then just go to the booking service and also do the same kind of thing, Maven clean install. And do a Maven clean install for the booking service as well. Now, once this is done, clear this. And here, once the services are up and running, that means once the um, application is built, we can just simply say Docker compose up. So this is the command which is just used to run the Docker compose services. And I will just press enter over here and let's see what is going to happen behind the scenes. Okay. So first of all, bookings database and payments database has to be, developed. So first it is just going to download the MySQL image. This MySQL image will be used by the bookings database, and the payments database are using the MySQL image. Okay, that's it. So here image name is, it is not the image name that we are creating. If this image is already existed in Docker, then it will be pulled up. But here, if you see the image name, the booking service, so this is the image name that we are going to create, because booking service is not at all available in Docker. Okay, so now you can see that services are getting started. So here, unless the payments DB and the bookings database are up and running, booking service and payment service will never start. Okay. So that's the purpose of the health check command and the depends on property. So here you can see that payments database and bookings database are starting parallelly. Databases, not services. Okay. Because once this database are up, then probably our services will start. Otherwise, they will never start. So you can just see over here. So it has basically started, the bookings database on 3306 and payments database on 3306. Okay. Now it started. Now they are getting started. And now, okay. Now these are actually creating the tables, and then followed by the services are up and running now. Okay. Now what I can simply do, so see here, the payment service application has been started and the booking service application also started. Now let's see and go in the Docker desktop. So here you can see the images, payment service and booking service. These are my custom services. That's the reason there are two images. And this is the existing image which is already available in the Docker. So this MySQL is a software to run our payment service and the booking service on the MySQL database. And if you just go and see the containers now, so here we have the container name is bookings DB, payments DB, the payment hyphen service, and the booking hyphen service. Now, if you just go and see in the Docker Compose YAML file, so here we have given the container names. So these are the container names which is actually taking. Otherwise, it will generate a random container names. Okay. That's the total idea. Got it? And now what we can simply do, we can just go to the volumes. So these are the volumes which are actually used. So volumes are basically, for the databases. Let's say if the database is crashed or if the database is down for some period of time or it has lost the data, by using these volumes, we can actually regenerate the database data completely. So that's the reason volumes are specifically needed for the databases. Okay. And now if I just go to I just wanted to open my MySQL Workbench. Okay. So now I just wanted to open each and every database separately. So here I just wanted to call this as bookings underscore database, whatever the name you can just give it. Here by default, the username will be root for each and every MySQL database. Okay. So here I need to give 3307 because for bookings database, I have actually exposed it as 3307. Okay. And the database, I have given it as bookings database. Okay. So now the password is also bookings. I have just created for simple purpose. So I will just click on this one and I will just go and give the password as bookings. And now I just wanted to hit on enter. So here, if you see that the bookings table, the bookings database is created along with the tables. but there will be no data inside the table because we have not done anything right now. Okay. So now I'll just close this and I just wanted to open another connection, which is a payments database. Okay. So payments underscore database. And here I just have exposed that on 3308. So I'll just use this and click on OK. And I just wanted to open this and I just wanted to enter my payments database password as payments. That's it. And if I just go over here, the payments database has been created along with the payments table. That's it. Okay. So now finally we are established with the databases creations. So these databases are actually created in Docker containers, not on our local containers. Okay. So in our local database, MySQL does not have to be installed first of all, but we want to see some data, right? So that's the reason I have actually exposed this 3307, okay, for bookings. And for payments, I have just exposed 3308 because these are different databases, right? And booking service will use this bookings database and payment service will use this payments database, okay? So that's the reason. And inside this booking service, we have something called depends on property, which is actually depends on, bookings database. And if you see the condition, it is service healthy. That means until unless the bookings database is not up and running, the booking service will never restart. That means will never start. Bookings database has to be up and running because booking service, if it has to start, it will connect with the database, right? So basically, it has to first initially create the bookings database and then it has to make it up and running. Then only this booking service will start. And if you see the logs over here, can you see this? See here, it has actually created a common network. So as all these services and containers are a part of the same network, they do not require any port numbers or anything to communicate with each other. They can just call each other directly with the service name. That's it. Okay, so now if you can see here, the bookings database and the payments database are running in parallel. So here you can see the log that, see here the bookings database is up on 3306 and here the payments database is up. So once these are up and running, then only the booking service and the payment service will start parallelly because payment service is dependent on payments database over here, right? And booking service is dependent on bookings database. Okay, so that's the total idea. So, and you can see here, everything is done. Now what we can do, we can just go to the Postman and we can just hit on enter. But here the call itself will fail because if you just go and see that inside our booking service, there's something called payment service broker. So if you can see here, Docker cannot recognize localhost. See here from the booking service, that means from this perspective I'm speaking. So booking service can call the payment service directly with the service name because inside the services, all these are service name. This is a bookings database service name, and this is the payments DB. This is the booking service, and so here what we need to do, we need to make this as payment hyphen service. Okay, so that's all we need to do, and now we can just close this, and we can just open the. I just wanted to stop all the containers. If you just wanted to remove, run, I just wanted to run this command. So here, basically what we do, you just go to the Docker containers, the Docker desktop. I need to delete the volumes first, and I need to delete the images, and then I need to delete the containers, right? So what I need to do, basically, I don't have to do anything like that. So I can just copy paste this Docker system prune hyphen all. Hyphen all means destroy and remove all the images and containers forcefully, that means very quickly, and then including the volume. So if I just execute this command, all the things will go away, but never ever use this command. Okay, this is just for my testing purpose. Okay, so here there are no containers, there are no images, and there are no volumes. Okay, so now I can simply go and build this particular payment service broker. As this changes directly from the booking service, I need to build the booking service again, correct? So I just wanted to clear this, and I just wanted to go to the booking service, and I just do a Maven clean install. And here payment service does not has to be rebuilt again because there are no changes inside the payment service. Okay, so now I'll just build this application of the booking service because there is a change inside the payment service broker localhost to payment-service. And then I just wanted to do go back to this one, and I just wanted to do a Docker compose up again. And then very simple, right? So if I just give this application to anyone who is just installed Docker on his machine, behind the scenes, it is just going to create install a MySQL software for our Java application. It is just going to install the JDK, the OpenJDK 17 that we have mentioned inside the Docker file. It's just going to install all these softwares, and it is just going to create the Docker images, Docker containers, and everything is getting served inside the Docker containers directly. See how simple it is and how it is, it has reduced a burden on the developer to start each and every service, to build that image, right? Everything has been taken care from the developer perspective side. Because Docker is, very popular these days because each and every industry is using Docker containers and images, except few, because even they are ready to migrate to Docker because Docker is really helpful because there are so many things it does behind the scenes. Otherwise, we need to install hell lot of software. If you just wanted to deploy this service into a cloud, then probably what you need to do from your side, first you need to develop, install JDK, install MySQL, and other softwares. You have to install hell number of things. Now you can see the bookings database and the payments database are started. Hmm. Now if I go and see this, I see the images. Okay, so now if I just go to the containers, see here the payments DB, the bookings DB, the booking service, the payment service, everything is up, and also the volumes are created. And now if I just go here, these are also up and running. And now I'll just close this and I will just open my Postman. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Guys, I'm back. Yeah. So here I can just submit this data. And here you can see that the request is successful, right? So here, if you can see that the booking status is confirmed, and let's go to each and every database right now. And bookings database, first of all, I just wanted to give the password as bookings. And if I just go over here inside the bookings, I can just see that the payment was successful and the booking status is confirmed. That is really good. And I just wanted to go to the payments database and I just wanted to enter the payments as a database password. And here you can see that these are the MySQL software which is running inside a Docker. We are accessing it because even in my local machine, I do have the MySQL Workbench installed, but it is actually connecting to the Docker container, not to the local machine. Okay. So I will just show it to you right now. Okay. So here the payment status is approved. And if I just go to the payments dashboard, the Stripe payment gateway, you can also see the the scenario is successful. And if everyone not able to use the Stripe payment gateway, but they can use a Razor Pay, as Akash said, that because it is very simple and easy to set up, you can just use that for your testing purposes. Okay. Going forward, we will be using the Razor Pay dashboard for our real-time project. So we have to get some idea on that one as well. It is simple like the Stripe, but it is very simple to use. Okay. So this is the one that I have done right now. So this is actually at 9:42 right now, 9:42 a.m. And this is the American Express card I have used. And these are all the details. That's it. Okay. So now if you go and see over here, we have this approved status. And then finally, that's the total idea. If anyone wants to ask any questions, they can raise your questions right now. So that's the end of the session today. Okay, I will just give these applications to everyone. Okay, by committing that code into the GitHub, you can just have a look inside that. Okay, Abhinav.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi Abhinav. Tell me.
Yeah, sir. Actually, initially you said like this booking service and payment service.
Hmm.
Whenever we are building with Maven,
Hmm.
so it will build locally. So we require that MySQL password of our regular local
Hmm.
MySQL. But
Hmm. Hmm.
today, just you have pasted the password of containers.
Yeah, so here I will tell you the reason for it. So here there is something called a test folder. Okay, I have just deleted the test folder, right? So if you just have a test folder, inside that there is a default context path, which will actually connect to our local database. But that code has been removed. I have actually removed the test folder, right?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, so that's the best. So it will build it basically with this particular details.
Yeah, sir. I remember I
Okay.
got error at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you need to remove your test cases. Only the test folder has to be removed. Then everything will be working fine without even when you are giving these details from the Docker itself. Okay.
So if we have test
Yeah.
folder, we should follow the same thing.
Yeah. So we will use that constants as well using dollars. Okay.
Yeah.
But right now, for your simple understanding, I have just pasted like this.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. 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 Thank you, Abhinav. Yes, Suresh.
Yeah, I have a question. You mentioned that Docker's it installs all the software from the Docker Hub, right? But
Hmm.
in any organization, like just like Maven, right?
Suresh, I'm
Instead
saying it to
of
you again. See, I'm saying it to you again. Don't go with the
Mhm.
organization level. So organization will use their own Docker hubs. Docker hub is basically for
Okay,
public
got it.
repositories. They will use their own, if they are using AWS, then they will be using ECR registry. They will not be using Docker hub. Each and every company will have their own registries. Docker hub is a public repository. The companies
Mhm.
cannot keep their
Okay, got it.
softwares inside Docker Hub, right? So Docker Hub is specifically for the people who are actually having their own, who actually require some softwares like MySQL, OpenJDK 17, something like that. Okay.
So they have if you give Docker build or whatever command, so it will automatically redirect to their Docker Hub instead of public Docker. Is that correct
Yes,
understanding?
yes, right, right.
Do you have this, just like here, right? We have settings.xml and there we have to specify all the credentials and all. The same way, do you have anything that we need to configure in
No,
order
no,
to
Docker
access?
does not have like that. So it
If
has its own.
companies, okay.
See, in order to log into Docker, here we have actually logged into my Docker Hub account, right? Company will
Okay,
have
okay.
its own Docker username and
Yeah,
Docker
understood
password.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
So locally, if you want to run, do I need to have the user ID password? I just install it.
Yes,
But,
you need to write. You need to write because in real time you will not be using. We will be using Docker separate softwares like Minikube or Rancher Desktop. So companies will use those kind of things because these are open source, right? So I can use it and I can develop. Yeah.
And if you have, let's say, SQL or whatever software, if you have locally installed and at the top of that, if I run through Docker, that will not conflict, right?
No, 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 no. See, even if I don't have, okay, let me, if you, can you see this one? Even if I uninstall this MySQL right now in my machine, it will just work because it doesn't require my local environment, right? So if I just remove this MySQL, it will still work. I can remove this MySQLs. It will still work because the software is running inside Docker, not in my local.
It's a separate space. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Docker is
So
a
whether
separate
you have
environment.
local or not,
Yeah.
doesn't make any difference. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
see
you.
here, I can show you that. If you see this containers, the booking service, see here, it is actually starting inside the Docker container, not in my local machine.
Okay,
All these
understood.
logs are specifically from the application logs itself. Okay.
Yeah, it runs in its own environment, so it doesn't
Yeah,
interfere our
yeah.
local
It
things.
doesn't mess up with local. That's it.
But still, using this web workbench, we can access that, correct?
Yeah, not only MySQL Workbench, there are so many tools available. So Heidi SQL is there, right? And there is something called SQL Electron is there, which is the lightweight software. And also we have something called DB Weaver. So there are so many softwares which we can use it to connect to the Docker databases. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Sir, can you please show me how booking service Docker file can Okay, okay. How to handle this test folder problem, sir, in case if we need to write the test cases in future for. Yeah, I'll show that to you right now, Akash. Okay, I just wanted to show that to you right now. If you just go to this user registration system, by default there will be a test folder, right? I'll just go to this then. Initially, when we are developing this start.spring.io, just add some dependencies of the web. JPA. That's it. Just generate this first of all. Generate. So let me go inside this. And extract here. And if I just go over here, there is something called a test, right? So inside this, we do have something called a demo application.test. This is a one which will fail our local things. So I just wanted to copy this first of all. Okay. So so this is okay. Let me go to that movie ticket booking system booking service. I just wanted to create a directory test Java. Okay. So now I can just create a package, the same package which we do have already. So let me copy this package, refactor, rename. Just create this. Okay. Now if I just wanted to create a test, booking service application test, I will just copy the name. So here I just wanted to create a Java class with this name, tests. Okay. Now, if I just go and annotate this one with this particular thing, anyhow, we will write the test cases. And not now, we just have to discuss a lot of things. So at the rate test followed by, this is from JUnit Jupyter. So this is a default one which will be created. Okay. So now if I just go and build this application now, so if I just go and stop this application, anyhow, we have tested that multiple databases are also working. Okay. And now I just wanted to go to the booking service now and clear. And I just wanted to do a Maven clean install. So this will actually fail because when it is actually building it, it is basically going to execute our Spring Boot application. But this Spring Boot application cannot connect to the Docker container because this is local application which is running, right? So the test cases will fail over here. Okay. The reason being it is unable to, if you just see the error on the top. Yeah, see here, communications link failure. That means from the local, it will never be able to connect. So here, what we can just simply do, here we can actually give $, and here we need to give the, the placeholder. And if there is no placeholder, then probably it has to take this local host. Okay. And by default, username is root. There is no username that we can change it over here. But here, I can just use this, and I can just give the. So here, what I can simply do. So here, I just have to remove this, and here I just have to give the local database password as this one, 02. Okay. So now here, I need to give the placeholders. So how I can give the placeholders? If you just go to the Docker Compose YAML file. So here in the booking service, I can just create some environment variables, environment. And here I can just give MySQL host as, okay. So bookings database, and MySQL _ database. So here you can give DB also, DB _ name, whatever you can. But if you just go inside this environment, you need to give only these conventions, because these are conventions and these are constants of the MySQL image. Okay. But here you can give whatever the things that you want. Okay. So DB name, I just want to give it as bookings. MySQL host is bookings database. That means it is going to contact this particular one, right? So I can just give this one. So here, now what I can do, I can just simply use this MySQL host as a placeholder over here. And here I can just use the DB _ name. Got it? Now, if I just build this application now, this should work fine. Okay. Maven clean install, and now run this. Because in our local machine, right side values will be taken up. Whenever we are going to run Docker Compose, if it is going to find the environment variables, then it is going to pick up those, and it will replace those placeholders in the left side, and it will just connect to the Docker containers databases. Okay. So now you can see that everything is working fine and the tests are run. Okay. Now we can see the build is successful. Okay. I think probably, who was that? The first person? Giridhar. I think, hope this is clear to you. Okay, so you need to do the same changes for a payment service also. I'll do that and I will just commit that. Okay. Yeah. And that's the end. And if you just have any questions, previously some people are saying that. And one more thing, guys. Naresh, do you have any questions?
Nothing much, sir. If you want to run this project into our local, uh,
Yeah.
do we have any documents? I mean, because while now it is understandable, while
Hmm.
running we are facing issues. So do we have any documentation for like you explain the mini project, right? From
Hmm.
scratch level steps, how to create the projects, and after
Hmm.
that, Docker installation. While
Hmm.
installation, we are getting some issues, so virtualization should be enabled.
No,
My
Naresh.
side, my side I
Yeah.
sorted. My
Yeah.
side I sorted. And
Hmm.
after that, right, the basic steps, right, some projects should be run. So what is the steps we have to follow? Do you have any documentation? Or
Yeah, I have a
if you
doc.
get time, can you, yeah, once
Can I talk?
you finish it, this is the mini project you completed, right, sir, today? So
It is
yeah,
not done yet. It is not done
it's
yet.
not,
We have,
it's not.
we are still pending with Kafka, right, Naresh?
Yeah,
How we
okay,
can
okay,
say
yeah,
that
yeah.
this is done? This is not done, right?
Sorry.
Hmm.
Yeah. So once you done, you can repeat all the steps quickly, right, sir, from scratch
See,
level.
I can give you the steps in the readme.md, Naresh. Don't worry about that. Okay. I'll
Okay.
say each and everything to you in the readme.md file. So how I have given the documentation for previous projects, the same thing I just wanted to repeat over here as well. Okay. Once it is
Okay.
connected, I will
Okay.
let you know in the Telegram channel. You can just have a look into it.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Naresh. But if you are just facing any issues, you can just ping me in the Telegram channel. I will be able to resolve it.
Sure. Thanks so much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. I think that's all. So that's the end of the session today. So every day I just wanted to connect at 9:05 at least, so that because during my office timings it's very much difficult for me because I do have a training. I have the training sessions starting from 10:30, so I just have to complete it by 10, and I can take the questions from 10 to 10:30 itself. Okay, from all of you. So I think today you can just go through that application and sir, show me once booking service Docker file. I joined a bit late, so missed that part. Okay, sure. I think it is the same thing, Akash. So how we have actually developed for the the user registration system. So here we are just actually downloading the OpenJDK, that means JDK 17 into the Docker container. And we are just copying our local jar file into the Docker container jar file. So in the Docker container, we need to specify the jar file, but here you can mention the same thing like this. It is not a problem, and you can just give the same thing over here. But it is actually a good practice to give some unique names to the jars when it is actually a part of the Docker container. So that's it. Okay. Yes. So I'll just commit the application with some documentation. Give me some time. By post lunch, I will be able to commit all the things according to the and including the documentation, how to run the steps, how we can start the Docker Compose file, and how we can actually run the application and all this kind of things. I'll document it for you. Okay, that's the end of the session, and hope you enjoyed it. And I will meet you tomorrow at the same time. Okay. Have a great day and happy learning to you all.